Part 4, Team Sonic. For those of you who don't know, Team Sonic includes Sonic the Hedgehog, Tails the Fox, and Knuckles the Echidna from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. So today I'll be giving Pokemon teams to these three characters. Let's go. First up, we have Sonic's team. Starting off, we have Talonflame, the Scorching Pokemon, the evolved form of Fletchinder. It is a fire flying type and is one of the fastest flying type Pokemon around. This is a reference to how he likes to ride on the outside of a seat on Tails' plane, as well as the fire typing being well adjusted to his dark spine form, I think. So yeah. Next up, we have Ninjask, the ninja Pokemon, the evolved form of Nincada. A bug flying type, this Pokemon is known for being one of the fastest bug type Pokemon in the world. And with Sonic being super fast, it fits. Excelgor, the Shellout Pokemon, is his next Pokemon and is the evolved form of Shelmet. This Pokemon is also is here for the same reason as Ninjask, except his name also is acceleration, and acceleration means speed, being up, so yeah. Next up, we have Barraskewda, the Skewer Pokemon, and the evolved form of Arrokuda. This is a pure water-type Pokemon, and it is here to help, and it is one of the fastest water-type Pokemon in the series. I believe it would help out Sonic with any water adventures he has to go on, due to him not being able to swim. And Barraskewda would help him do that. Plus the speed. Yeah. Next up, we have Deoxys. But not any Deoxys. Speed form Deoxys. It is a pure psychic type and is the DNA Pokemon. This Pokemon has the ability to change its forms, and speed form would be the one who would stay in the most, because Sonic likes speed. Plus, its ability to transform can be a reference to Sonic's multiple forms, like Dark Spine, Supersonic, Hypersonic, Night Sonic, you know. So yeah. And finally, his final Pokemon is Regieleki, the Electron Pokemon, a pure electric type. This Pokemon is one of the fastest in the entire game, being so fast that it had to be nerfed. And its yellow coloring can be a reference to Supersonic. And yeah, Sonic speed, you know, makes sense. So, Sonic's final team is Ninjask, the ninja Pokemon, Excelgor, the shell-out Pokemon, Barraskewda, the skewer Pokemon, Talonflame, the scorching Pokemon, Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon, and Regieleki, Electron Pokemon. Alrighty, so next up we are doing Tails the Fox, Sonic's best friend and sidekick and mechanic. He invented various things like the tornado, their plane. So first up we have Rotom, the plasma Pokemon. This Pokemon has the ability to go into various machines. In its base form, it is a electric ghost type. However, as you can see, it has 5 other battle forms, being Rotom Heat, which can help warm up like machines and whatnot, and defrost them when it gets cold. Rotom Wash and Rotom Frost can help cool down the machines when they get too hot. Fan Rotom is a reference to how he how Tails is able to fly using his tails. And I believe Fan Rotom will be the form it stays in the most for that reason. And Mode Rotom can mow his lawn. Yeah, sure, why not? Next up, we have Lilligant, the flowering Pokemon. Specifically, this version of Lilligant, right here. It is a pure grass type, and is the evolved form of Petalil. This Pokemon likes to dance. However, the reason I chose it for his team is because of Cosmo, who is Tails' girlfriend-ish in the Sonic X anime for the last season. And Cosmo is a plant girl. You can see why Lilligant is here. Next up, we have Porygon 2, the virtual Pokemon, a pure normal type, and the evolved form of Porygon. Porygon 2 is an updated version of Porygon, being the perfect computer program. And seeing as how Tails likes to invent things, it would require something to go inside the computer to make sure there are no bugs. Porygon 2 fits that description nicely. Next up, we have Alolan Ninetales, an Ice Fairy type, and is the evolved form of Alolan Vulpix. Tails is a fox, as is Alolan Ninetales, so it would make sense. Plus, it can help cool down his machines if they overheat. Next up, we have Corviknight, the Raven Pokemon. This Pokemon is a flying type, which fits in with Tails' ability to fly. And it's a steel type, which is commonly associated with machines. So that also fits into him being a mechanic. Oh, and it's the evolved form of Corvisquire. It is a flying and steel type. And finally, his ace, Garchomp. The evolved form of Gabite and is the Mach Pokemon. It is a Dragon Ground type. Garchomp are able to fly at extreme speeds. Faster than a jet. So, since Tails has a plane, it makes sense for him to be here. And if he gets into a really bad spot, it can Mega Evolve. So, Tails' final Pokemon team is Rotom, the Plasma Pokemon, Lilligant, the Flowering Pokemon, Porygon 2, the Virtual Pokemon, Alolan Ninetales, the Fox Pokemon, Corviknight, the Raven Pokemon, and Garchomp, and Mega Garchomp, the Mach Pokemon. And now, the final member of Team Sonic, we have Knuckles the Echidna, the guardian of the Master Emerald. So let's go. His first Pokemon is Swoobat, the evolved form of Woobat. This is the courting Pokemon, a psychic flying type. This Pokemon is a reference to Rouge the Bat, who commonly tries to steal the Master Emerald from Knuckles. Plus, a lot of people like to ship Rouge with Knuckles, so makes sense. Next up, we have Hawlucha, the wrestling Pokemon, a fighting and flying type. Knuckles' primary thing is being the big bruiser of the group, which fits in with the fighting type, and he can also glide for some reason. And Hawlucha cannot fly, but he can glide. So yeah. Next up is Stonejourner, the big rock Pokemon, a pure rock type. This Pokemon resembles ancient ruins found in the Galar region. So, it makes sense because Knuckles protects the Master Emerald, which is kept in a large ruin shrine thing. So yeah. Next up we have Hitmonchan, a pure fighting type, the punching Pokemon as the evolved form of Tyrogue. There should not be really too much explaining here. Boxing gloves, Knuckles literally has boxing gloves for literal hands. So does Hitmonchan. So, yeah. Next up, we have Emboar, the Mega Fire Pig Pokemon, a fire fighting type. The fighting type, already explained, fits well with Knuckles. Plus, it has been stated in various Pokedex entries that this Pokemon has extremely powerful punches. Plus, Knuckles could use the fire to roast some berries or apples that he finds. Yeah. And finally, his ace, Machamp, the superpower Pokemon, and the evolved form of Machoke. A pure fighting type. There's not much explanation here. Machamp, fighting type, Knuckles, makes sense. But this one, when he gets into a real bad spot, like facing an entire army of badniks coming for the Master Emerald, he could Gigantamax his Machamp. So yeah. So his final Pokemon team is Zubat, the courting Pokemon, Halucha, the wrestling Pokemon, Stonejourner, the big rock Pokemon, Hitmonchan, the punching Pokemon, Emboar, the mega fire pig Pokemon, and Gigantamax Machamp, the superpower Pokemon. And that, my friends, is the final Pokemon team for Team Sonic. See you next time, everybody. Bye!